Hello everyone. Oh, too loud. Hello everyone. I bet you missed me. Huh? Haven't seen me in a while, huh? That's cause I was busy last Carbuncle's Corner. The previous Carbuncle's Corner number 15. Or I mean, I guess Carbuncle Corner number 1, the inaugural new server Carbuncle Corner. Anyway, we're here with Neruu versus BOUT2PUKE, and BOUT2PUKE's gonna set off his main chain, and that tail is going to, okay, 2 links for the tail. Not quite the perfect tail, and Neru's chain is going to cut, and BOUT2PUKE is going to take that first game in a surprising turn of events. In the meantime, I mean, I don't have anything interesting to talk about. I was at a family event during the Carbuncle's Corner number 15:1. Is it like the French Revolution thing where it's like they tried to make a new calendar based on the revolution, and it like was like stupid and a bad idea? This is a really cool extension from Neruu. Pretty normal stuff from BOUT2PUKE, but didn't read that Neru's response was not the full chain, and continues extending instead of using the red purple to set off the main chain. Now there's like kind of all clear potential for those pieces, but it kind of sort of doesn't matter. I would really prefer if BOUT2PUKE just, you know, didn't bother extending with those greens and just set off what he had, but I appreciate a risky extension into a longer chain. BOUT2PUKE leading Neruu in games by 1. So, neck and neck. BOUT2PUKE doing a bit of a sandwich opener with a flat base in columns 4, 5, and 6. Converts that base into a harassment. Not quite the response he was expecting. I guess it's like, it was definitely a harassment chain, but it did not land. Like, the harassment did not catch Neruu in the way that he might have hoped. Not really sure what Neru's building here. Can't really read it very well. BOUT2PUKE has had an extension that was open on 2 sides with those greens, but I was hoping maybe going for harassment, an extension harassment, but a really ambitious extension here. Doesn't pop, the blues pop early, so that becomes a 6. Although I like the way that he was thinking very creatively with using those pieces in terms of placement, efficiency, getting the most use out of them. You can see BOUT2PUKE kind of waiting for, you know, waiting to replace those pieces, looking at possible chain, tail possibilities. Really ambitious with that purple, and can't get that over to the other side because of the rotation of that purple. They're just gonna top out due to pure greed. That's the kind of greed that's in the Bible. Okay, I was gonna go, speaking of the Bible, did you hear that they announced a new pope? But that's a crazy topic of conversation for the Puyo Puyo tournament. Like, I don't know if anybody here is like secretly anti-Catholic or something that I don't know about. So instead, I'm just gonna talk about the game. I had a bit of an attack from BOUT2PUKE using stairs, the accursed stairs, and this green drought was not going to be any more painful, but the green was coming up, just blocked it off with that piece, I suppose. Now, BOUT2PUKE left that GTR open for a very long time, rotating that green piece because they don't want it to cut the tail early. Understandable, but they're gonna have to use some extra pieces in order to, yeah, pop that extra bit of damage, and then they're not gonna have the greens to finish out the rest of the chain. Neruu with a couple of strategic harassments, able to exploit that weakness in the chain, and it's now match point for Neruu. BOUT2PUKE really wanted to put that double yellow in column 5 and not 6, so that they could put a purple on top of it and have 2 links for a tail. Chain is still open, though not particularly long. Definitely stifled in its ability to continue extending. And that strategic 2 chain is going to take the game, taking advantage of Neru's height on the board. I guess misdropped that piece, but that's fine. That is a missed all clear on BOUT2PUKE's end, though, with the rotation of that red-yellow. Although we do have a tail conversion into harassment. Capitalizes on the amount of damage done to Neru's board, but if Neruu gets this red piece, that's the rest of his chain. Although it looks like Neru's chain cuts there, partly. So if this counters, it's not quite enough to counter. I was about to say, BOUT2PUKE maybe took a little bit too much time to attack. But luckily, he sent the right amount of damage. BOUT2PUKE putting that yellow in column 5. Not continuing the tail there. Opting to set up a main chain, having no response to that 2-chain harassment. Setting up a 7. You see Neru's powered up in the middle there, and that 6 was enough to counteract all of that damage. Literally all of it. Not a little bit more, not a bit less. Now, BOUT2PUKE really making Neruu work for this win. With these precarious drops. But pulling off this nice 3. a little bit of a reset, but not too much. Neruu basically back open. Just needs one more yellow to finish off that chain. Greeds for these purples instead. Gets them, rewarded for very bad behavior. Sends a powered up 5. Blue's just a little bit too high in order to connect all the way down. But BOUT2PUKE still alive. Probably not for long though. It's gonna be a lot of damage. Especially with almost 2 minutes on the board. Definitely those attacks were getting more and more consequential due to margin time, but Neruu finally clutches it out after a war of attrition that match was.